Welcome into the Birds of the Roundtable, the great free agency and draft debate, volume 2. Those of you that were here last Tuesday night, we unveiled a new concept for a show, and we had a lot of fun doing it. We had some good feedback from you guys in the comments and from on Twitter. And so we're going to hit you guys with volume 2 tonight as we get ever so closer to the NFL draft. So we will recap the concept here in just a minute in case you missed last week's episode. But I am your host, Shane. Give me a follow on Twitter at ShaneHalfNFL. Joined, as always, by the man, the myth, the legend, Dibes. Give him a follow on Twitter at Mr. Crockpot. Dibes, how are you doing this evening?
Good, man. I'm stressed. We've got Joel Embiid back. We've got Bryce Harper back. And I'm back to get win number 2 in our debate show.
We'll see about that. I think Ryan and I can team up to make that not happen. I like that hoodie, by the way. I like that. The Kelly green with a gray hood. That's a sharp look. I'm a big fan of that.
It's a good buy. I agree.
All right. I am also joined by the linebacker guru himself. It is Ryan Reese. Give him a follow on Twitter at Philly Sports PSA. Ryan, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm ready to take down Dibes. I mean, he had a win last week in our show, and he had a win against me this past weekend. So we gotta take him down a notch.
I don't like this.
I'm always a fan of taking Dibes down a notch. So if you missed the show last week, or it's been a week, you've forgotten, here's how this show is going to work. As our reigning champion, Dibes is going to play the host on the first question. It's a random wheel of questions. Ryan and I do not know any of these questions. Dibes does because he stacks the deck for himself, but that's okay. Actually, it's because he prepped the show. So Dibes will spin the wheel. It will reveal a random question, and then he will pick one of us to argue first. You get 30 seconds to make your argument. The other person then gets 30 seconds and cannot take the same side or player as the previous person, and then Dibes is the host, awards a point to the best argument. That person becomes the new host. We're going to play to 4 points. So it's basically Eagles, apples to apples, if you will. So you guys in the comments, be sure and drop us comments, maybe questions you'd like to see in future installments of this. You can also vote. Your vote doesn't count for anything, unfortunately, because we all know you would vote for me and Ryan over Dibes. So Dibes says those don't count. But you guys can chime in at least and let us know. So play along with us in the chat. So Dibes, are you ready to get this show started?
Absolutely. We have the Philly Talk podcast in the house. What's going on? Jordan, thanks for joining. Lil G, big fan of edge linebacker, Alabama and Georgia and Texas. Let's go. Let's see what the first question of tonight is. Oh, that's easy. Okay. First question. How would you grade A to F the Hassan Reddick trade? Shane, lead us off, man. What's your grade on the Reddick trade?
All right. I'm going to say it's like a C. I think, if you let him play out his deal, you could have potentially gotten a third-round comp pick in 2026, assuming you didn't cancel it out with signings. However, the trade opens up space to get Bryce Huff and Nolan Smith, your first-round pick from a year ago, on the field. It has a chance to be a second-round pick. Reddick has 4 straight years with 10-plus sacks. It's going to help you avoid some dead cap hit in 2025. And it's possible the Jets really stink after Aaron Rodgers retires. It could be a high second.
Right. C for Shane. Ryan, you're up.
Listen, I'm going to go with a B. I'm a little bit more, I guess, happy about it. I obviously didn't want to see Reddick go, but I feel like Howie was, in the course of negotiations, realizing that they were too far apart. It wasn't ever going to happen. And rather than a potential holdout this year or losing him next year for nothing, he went out and got at least something. So I think he did the best that he could, and I think it'll be a second anyway. So not bad, not great, tough situation.
Good arguments there.
Go ahead.
The winner is Shane. We did Party on Broad last night. Rob gave it an F, not that harsh, but for me, I agree with Shane. It was a necessary evil in some regards, but it's a bitter pill to swallow. Going with Shane on this one because I'm not as high as Ryan is on this. I'm not gonna apologize for Howie. Shane, you're up, man.
All right, let's spin that wheel.
All right.
Let me remove that. There you go.
Come on,
All
something
right.
good, something good.
All right, your question is,
which remaining opening starting spot is the biggest priority? Right guard, wide receiver 3, slot corner, or CB2? Ryan.
hold on.
I'm going to throw this one to you first, but I don't want to hear you say linebacker because that wasn't one of the choices.
Believe me, I was looking for it. I was like, wait a minute, I don't see it. Listen, I've done this a few times now where I kind of slow play it because I already know I'm winning this one. And I'm glad the Phillies are doing great. Bryce Harper and Embiid's back. Well, let's talk about that stuff. This is a great night for Philadelphia sports. But anyway, the real answer is right guard, and you need to absolutely keep this offensive line the best in the NFL. Let's go. That's how you do it.
Yeah. All right. That was a really good answer, Ryan. I probably would have went right guard, but the real answer to this question is CB2. I mean, James Bradbury was cooked how many times last year? How many touchdowns did he give up? Was it near 10? The fact remains, Keely Ringo needs to get on the field. He needs snaps. Bradbury's still on this field or still on this roster, and he probably will be in 2024. But give me a top-notch cornerback in this draft. Someone to replace Bradbury because he stinks.
All right. Well, you guys both make good cases. And if Ryan hadn't spent 15 of his seconds talking about the Sixers, you might have gotten me onto right guard, but I'm going to have to go with cornerback here. I'm going to have to go with cornerback. So the Eagles, I could honestly see them going either way early in the draft. I think both are big priorities, but I feel like you have an all-pro right tackle to help protect a right guard, and I don't know. The Eagles don't have that security blanket at safety right now, so I'll go with Dibes and CB2.
There we go, baby.
Betrayed. I feel betrayed.
I'm on the board. Next question.
Sorry, Ryan. We won't let him win. Okay.
That's how we're in this together.
Whoa, we got a positive question. The Eagles season will be a success in 2024 because let me get the shot clock up. Ryan, you're on the clock.
All right. Well, listen, I guess my bravado got the best of me, and I shouldn't waste clock. But the reason why the Eagles are going to return to glory is because Jalen Hurts will return to glory. He absolutely had an off year, too much going on. He returns, does what he does, keeps it simple, and balls the hell out. That's why the Philadelphia Eagles have a great season.
Jalen Hurts for Ryan. Shane, what say you?
The Eagles are going to be a success in 2024 because they have a competent offensive coordinator that understands it is okay to run a 2-yard hitch route against a blitz and not get your quarterback obliterated. Furthermore, they have a competent defensive coordinator that understands that dropping Josh Sweat into coverage is not the best use of your personnel, so you can blitz your safety that's designed to be a tight end eraser. Competency at coordinators.
I see what you did there, Shane. I know how you're playing this game, and it's smart because I brought up Kellen Moore last week and kind of discussed the same argument. I like that a lot. I'm sorry, Ryan. I don't even think Jalen Hurts was that terrible last year.
No, he wasn't.
It's for me. The bulk of my frustrations was the play calling, DeAndre Swift getting 2 touches and a half, the lack of adjustments against the blitz. Kellen Moore, Shane, you got to.
I wonder how many Sean's going to have this. As long as I could beat him.
I can't wait to melt down the stretch like the Eagles did in 2023 and blow a lead here. It's going to be great.
Jeez, I'm just hoping for one now at this point.
Which Eagles defensive lineman must pick up the slack the most with Hassan Reddick heading to the Jets? Ryan, would you like to go first or second?
No, I'll go second.
Okay, Dives, you're up.
It's Josh Sweat, and we talked about this last night. Josh Sweat, wait, hold on. Really? Come on, man. Stupid technology. You gotta have the timer on this stuff.
I'll time it on my phone.
There you go. It's Josh Sweat. I mean, his sack percentage, pressure percentage, all went down between 2022 and 2023. They restructured his deal. They have to find a way to get Josh Sweat back to the 2022 Sweat we know and love. Reddick's gone. Huff is still only going to get a somewhat tiny bump in snap percentage, but for me, Josh Sweat has to be that dude that takes his game to the next level.
So I have a question while the clock decides to, not start yet. The question was defensive lineman, correct?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay.
You're on the clock.
Okay. That's fine. It's going to be Milton Williams. The man absolutely is going to be an absolute surprise star. Now, we obviously here know all about Milton Williams, but this is a guy that's going to get a huge jump in snaps this year, and he is going to absolutely make the best of it. I'm sorry, Josh Sweat. I don't believe in you anymore.
Whew, that was harsh.
Well, harsh things need to be said to him.
We definitely 13 and a half minutes. We need to clip that one. That's a good clip to have for later.
Tag Sweaty J in that one too. I want all the smoke.
All right. I am going to go with Ryan on this one. I think Milton Williams is a sneaky candidate to play a little bit of defensive end in those odd fronts where maybe you're going to have Josh Sweat and Nolan Smith, or Josh Sweat and Bryce Huff standing up at linebacker as you sort of transition that. I thought Milton Williams should have played a little more last year, and I was interested in seeing him kick out to defensive end a little bit, and I think we might see that a little bit this year. So I'll give that one to Ryan.
All right, Ryan's on the board.
Woo! All right. Let's see what question we have here.
I'm also shocked that Dibes didn't say Jalen Carter.
Yeah, I know, right?
That is true.
All right, the question for you both. The Eagles will draft blank in the first round of the 2024 NFL draft. Sean, I will go with you.
All right.
Whatever that.
I don't see it. Okay.
That thing's ridiculous. It's so frustrating.
Well, we'll just.
We need to figure out a new timer. All right, Sean.
All right. The Eagles are going to draft Edgerrin Cooper in the first round. They have neglected the linebacker position for far too long. No more. Edgerrin Cooper coming to Philadelphia. He's going to be the best cover linebacker the Eagles have had since Jordan Hicks. He's going to be the best blitzing linebacker that they've had in the last decade. Edgerrin Cooper in Philly. Book it. Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Oh my god!
Now that's how you play the game, folks. Let's go.
The answer to this is nobody. They're going to trade back into round 2 and draft JT Sanders to the Philadelphia Eagles, and they're going to get a legit, dope number 2 tight end to give Jalen Hurts the best tight end group he's ever played with in his life. And all of a sudden, they got a guy with elite athleticism that can, expose mismatches, go up the seams. That's in the middle of the field. The middle of the field is back in Philadelphia.
Well, I thought when Dibes started that, I thought he was going to say they're going to trade back into the second round, and then they're going to take JT Sanders and Edgerrin Cooper.
Oh my God! No,
if you're going to pander, then I'm going to pander.
I was going to say that was a great secondary pander. I did not see it coming. But listen, technically, the question was, who are we going to draft in the first round? So technically, Dibes, you negated your own answer. So I'm going to go with Shane or Sean, whichever one you want to give the point to. Because I am a sucker for a linebacker and some pandering.
Love it. Well done, Sean. Well done.
That was good. And Harrison, I hope to God, no.
Harrison has the correct answer, but I didn't think anybody was going to get fired up if I said Graham Barton. So,
all
right, spin that wheel for us, Dibes.
Got Daniel in the house. What's up, Daniel?
What's up? You're late.
Who is the most underrated prospect in the 2024 NFL draft? I'll give you a moment to think about it, Ryan, while Dibes gets our clock up. Okay. And Ryan, I'm going to give it to you first.
All right. I'm going to go with it might not be at this point because I feel like it's growing, but it's for me, it's Cooper Beebe. He's a guy that honestly wasn't really on my radar a few months back and just have slowly been moving up. Had, again, when, good Senior Bowl, good film. I mean, honestly, there's not to not love about, not a lot to not love about. So I think Cooper Beebe is going to be a steal.
Right.
All right. Cooper Beebe for Ryan Dibes.
I made a video on this. For me, my number one guy is Xavier Legette. He's 6'3". He's a ridiculous athlete. He can give you upside as a future wide receiver one on the outside. You can play him in the slot, the Y. You can move him all across the football field. The fact that he's in that day 2 range is an absolute joke. This guy should be a top 20 selection in the draft. It makes no sense. Underrated Xavier Legette.
Yeah.
All right. Well, because I'm a nerd that likes objectivity rather than subjectivity, I'm just going to take both of your answers and see where they're at on the consensus big board and where I have them and see which is the furthest apart.
Oh, wow. That's really good.
So Cooper Beebe is 63 on the consensus big board, and I have him at 37. So I say he's underrated by 26 spots.
Shit.
Xavier Legette is 55 on the consensus big board, and I have him at 35. So I have Xavier Legette underrated by 20 spots. And so that edge goes to Cooper Beebe by 6 spots. But you guys are both right. Those are two guys that I think are tremendously underrated. Also guys that, I'm not higher. I was going to say also guys I'm higher on than both of you. But you guys are both higher than Legette than I am. You're both lower on Beebe. So Ryan, I'll give you that point by 6 spots.
All right, so Ryan, you have 2. I have 1. Right?
Yeah, and
Shane has 2. All right, Luffy says,
I actually have 3, but
you have 3?
I was just gonna say 1, so you guys will pick me again.
Luffy, I have the game on here. From what I've been seeing is Josh Giddey has been carving up Tobias Harris tonight. But we'll save that for post game. All right. Yeah, let's share the screen.
All right.
I have to keep redoing it and doing it. Otherwise,
Yeah, and bring it back up and resharing it. Yeah, I know. StreamYard sometimes is awful.
Next time I'll pull a timer up and maybe I can keep it shared since it's not switching tabs.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe that might do it. So, all right, here we go. What do we got for a question for you two? All right. We have the Eagles season will fail in 2024 because of blank. Dives, I'll give you the first crack.
Cool. Nope, I need this. All right, the Eagles season will fail mostly because I think Nakobe Dean gets hurt again. The Eagles' run defense continues to struggle out the gate. Jordan Davis is what continues to be a mistake. They should have drafted Kyle Hamilton. I'm excited to see the young pieces on the Eagles defense, but at the end of the day, the Eagles, when it comes to talent and just, they need more time to get it together on defense. It's the defense.
Okay.
Jake.
Okay. One, the offensive line's not going to be as good. Jason Kelsey's gone. You don't have an answer at right guard right now. And two, because the offense is going to be more complicated this year. That's good. There's going to be answers for things, but it puts a lot more pressure on Jalen Hurts. If the Eagles fail, it is because Jalen Hurts doesn't stand up to that pressure while playing behind a shakier offensive line. And because the Eagles didn't draft a first-round linebacker.
I'd like that last comment stricken from the record, please. Thank you.
Objection.
Sustained. That's the only words I know.
Mr. Rudy Poo, Nick Sirianni, Rudy Poo, Nikki Cutlets, and if Hurts struggles.
Yeah, listen, I do have to, outside of that last comment, I do have to go with Shane. I just think that's probably your most divisive thing that will hurt this team. So, yeah, I'll go with Shane on this one, unfortunately, because now he's one away from winning. Damn it!
I think he just won.
No, I was 4.
Yeah,
we're going to 4.
We're going to 4.
Oh, really? Oh, well.
He would like to change his answer now.
Yeah, I would like to change my answer now so we can keep playing.
I'm curious.
We're going to 5
on the takes about the head coach and Sirianni. Like, how do you guys feel about that being if the Eagles fail, it being because of Nick Sirianni? Because to be honest, I struggle to find what Sirianni actually does now.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
I guess if he's meddling, but it seems
motivated.
like he was brought in, like these guys were brought in to run the team, and I don't know. I struggle with what he actually does.
Yeah, I think he's more of just a manager of okay, I'm gonna make sure their offense is doing what they're supposed to be doing, the defense is doing what they're supposed to be doing, the team as a whole is doing what they're doing, and I'm going to organize the practices and make sure we're working on the things we need to be working on, and game time. While he may not be calling plays, I'm sure he certainly has influence on what to do and discussions with the coordinators and whatnot. So while it may seem like a weird spot, but I still think it's an important role that somebody needs to manage everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, his job is motivation. His job is to get the troops together, and he outright failed at that last year. If it was up to me, he would have been gone. We'll see what happens in 2024, but yeah, if anybody's neck is on the line, it's got to be Nick Sirianni.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What is it you say you do?
Yeah. What is it you say you do here?
All right, that pretty much wraps it up.
That sucks. I thought we were going to 5. My bad. I would have definitely voted for.
It's all right.
Well,
All right.
we can throw up a couple more questions if y'all want.
Let's
It's kind of
There's only a couple left, right? Let's just keep
there's a
talking.
bunch. We can always save it some for another one when David gets back.
Yeah, we can.
Oh
do
yeah,
that. Or
that's
just give
true, too.
David all of the remaining questions since he missed so much.
how many points do each of you have right now?
I have
2.
1, and Ryan has 2.
Okay. All right. Does Devontae Smith make his first Pro Bowl in 2024?
No.
I don't think so. And I think we're going to see a lot more spreading the ball around. And I think we're going to see Dallas Goedert take a big step forward, who was definitely misused or not used at all, even though he played a shit ton of snaps. I think Devontae is still going to ball out. But at the end of the day, like, part of me thinks Howie's going to be like, let's like pump the brakes on Devontae this year, maybe limit the targets and try and get that deal down, that money down as much as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, that's. I think you're right. I think I'm hoping that there is more of a spreading of the ball. I'm hoping that Saquon gets plenty of targets in the passing game and gets plenty of carries. Likewise, I'd also like to say I hope Kenny Gainwell never sees the field. And also the backup tight end, JT Sanders, is obviously going to be an important role on this team. No, but it's just too hard. I'm sorry. Like there are so many good wide receivers in this league. And one of them is literally on the other side of the field, on the opposite side of the quarterback from you. So it's tough. He's got to pull a miracle out of his, to get to the Pro Bowl, I think. And that's no knock on him either.
Yeah. Rudy Poo says no, Devontae will never meet the Pro Bowl with AJ being number 1. Any thoughts on that, Shane?
I agree with what he's saying. I mean, last year he was 20th in receiving yards. And it was a little bit of a down year for him from the year before, but I agree. I don't think he's likely to make a Pro Bowl with AJ Brown unless AJ Brown gets hurt and misses like 8 weeks or something like that. But if both of those guys are healthy, I think targets are going to be split too much. And I mean, we'll see how the Eagles offense changes. I think if you're running a lot of option routes and things and you get Devontae Smith in the slot in this new offense, maybe you can consistently hit him and it drives that volume up. But based off of everything the Eagles offense has been the last few years, like AJ Brown's the dig guy. AJ Brown's the vertical guy. Like AJ Brown's the comeback guy. Like it's AJ Brown. AJ Brown is target 1 and 2. And so it would be hard for him. However, if I was litigating this on the debate format, I would have said, no, he won't make the Pro Bowl because he's going to be in the Super Bowl. That would have been my argument to try to win a point. That's where I would have gone. But yeah, I think that's probably, as long as AJ's there, which we could debate how long AJ will be there, the way contracts are going with receivers, but it's going to be really hard for Devontae to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rudy Booth says, forget offense. We had the worst defense in the second half. Better be defense all the way from here on out.
Not wrong, but what if?
I literally said that and I got voted wrong.
Well, listen, I'm just saying, I think there is an honest chance that the board falls a certain way. It could be right guard first round, tight end second round, wide receiver second round. We just load the hell up on offense and say 50 points, here we come.
Yeah.
Yep.
To be clear, that's not what I'm advocating. But
no, neither am I necessarily, but yeah. Maybe 2 out of the 3. Right guard and tight end, and then linebacker.
Yep. All right. Should we close it up?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a shorter show tonight. We're still a little short-handed around here, but we've got, what is it? Is it 2 more shows before the draft? No, it's 3 more shows before the draft. 3 more shows before the draft. So
3 weeks from Thursday. So yes.
Yeah. So We will probably, I would imagine, we'll take a break from the debate show format here to get some last minute draft stuff done. Eagles specific big boards. We probably need to get another dueling mock or maybe like a full first round mock draft. So we'll be doing a lot of draft focused stuff over the next couple of weeks. Obviously, we'll be breaking down the Eagles draft selections after the draft. So if you're into the draft, this is going to be a great place for you. We go live every Tuesday night around 8:00. We'll do silly shows like this. We'll do some more in-depth analysis shows. If you guys have topics you want to hear us cover, if you've got a question you want to hear us debate over, because man, the off season gets long after the draft. I'm sure we'll be doing that. You can drop them in the chat here. We love interacting with you guys in the chat on Tuesday nights. So do that. You can hit us up on Twitter. I am at Shane Half NFL. Dibes is at Mr. Crockpot. Ryan is at Philly Sports PSA. And we'll compile some of that stuff into a mailbag for a show. So a lot of different things we can do. So you guys keep it tuned right here. But we're going to get out of here for tonight. Dibes, before we go, you have any final thoughts or any content you want to plug?
I've got a most overrated prospects video for the 2024 NFL draft coming out tomorrow. Be sure to check that out. And I've also got a boomer bust prospect video in the works. Outside of that, we'll be going live for Sixers post game in just about an hour. So talking about Embiid's return. So I'll be back on here in a little bit.
All right. Ryan, any content you got coming out? Anything you want to plug? Any final thoughts? The floor is yours.
Hold on. Spoiler warning. Chop is on that list.
Just normal shows from here on out. Monday, football smack talk at 6:00. Party on Broad with this guy and Rob Lange. 9:00. Obviously, every Tuesday at 8:00. Where else would everybody be? And then, I think the Saturday before the draft, I'm doing kind of a little special draft preview on Philly Sports Alliance, just kind of breaking down some prospects and needs and etc. stuff to get everybody a little bit ready for the draft. And that's all I got.
All right. Well, I am going to drop a link in the comments right now to our 2023 Edge of Philly Sports Draft Guide. I am finalizing stuff for the 2024 draft guide, hoping to get that cleaned up so we can release it to you guys by the end of the week, maybe early next week. But it'll have rankings for me, for Dibes, for Ryan, for David, who will be back in a couple of weeks with us here, and for my co-host on Chalk Talk, Mark. It also has a consensus big board, relative athletic scores. Mark does player comps. So I'm just cleaning up some formatting things on that, and we're finalizing those rankings. But that's going to be out and available to you guys, fully filterable by position, by college, by relative athletic score, by individual person's rankings, or the consensus. However, you will have to download a copy of it. That's why I'm trying to make sure everything's cleaned up before I do it, before you can use the filters. So you can check out the one from last year if you want to see where we ranked on guys last year, or if you want to see kind of what's coming. But that is coming down the pipeline. I'm really excited to get that put out this year. Yeah. I'm also going to start on my prospect videos. I'm targeting having a 2 to 3 minute scouting report video out for each of my top 50 prospects by the draft. If I can catch a break and my roof will stop leaking and everything else that happened this week. So I was intending to have about 10 of those done already, and I've done one. But so those will be coming out on Twitter, hopefully by the end of the week as well, staggered out until the draft. So you guys check those out. A lot of work goes into that draft guide from all of these guys. It's what we'll be using on our live draft show. And make sure you guys plan to join us on that live draft show. We're going to be live all throughout the first round of the draft, and I think through day 2 as well. There it is.
And definitely day 3 as well. But I will not be on that.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I won't as well. But the Edge of Philly Sports Watch Party, April 25th at 7 p.m. We'll be talking through team needs for every team, draft trivia. We're going to give grades to all the picks. We'll be checking stuff off on our big board. And so even if for some reason you're watching Birds of the Round Table and you're not an Eagles fan, thanks for tuning in and supporting our stuff. We'll be talking about every team. We're not going to be sitting there when Drake May comes off the board at pick 2 talking about how that matters for the Eagles. Like, we'll be talking about the Commanders and the quarterback that they just got and all that stuff. So we'll try to take the Birds hats off until we get close to the Birds pick, and we'll be breaking down all these guys. So it'll be a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun every year. You guys make plans to hang out with us for that. And I think that's going. Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, hold up. Also, we'll be doing draft trivia. I will be putting together probably about 100 or so NFL draft questions. Most will be Eagles centric, but it's going to be everybody on the show plus versus the fans. So we're gonna involve the fans a little bit, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Also, one more plug: if you love the Phillies, there's going to be a live pregame and postgame at Streetlight Kitchen and Bar. They're giving away free Phillies tickets. April 7th at 11 a.m. That's start time. So if you love the Fightins, go check that out. April 7th.
I will be absolutely terrible at that trivia.
That's all right. That's all right.
Well,
all right.
Study up.
Yeah. Final comment here coming in on YouTube says he appreciates our work. We appreciate you guys for hanging out with us each and every Tuesday night. It truly does make the show so much more fun being able to interact with you guys. So you guys are the real MVPs. And with that, we're going to sign off. We will catch you guys next Tuesday night at 8:00, where we will be doing one of the ideas I tossed out, but getting the lead into the NFL draft. So until next Tuesday, go Birds.